Alright, welcome back, folks. Today, it's time to make a video on the 107 again, and I know it's been a while. I've kind of been pretty quiet about the 107, and that's because I've been doing a lot of work to her. And I know it really doesn't look like I've done anything at all. It probably looks exactly the same as it did, but some of you will be surprised to hear that I've actually done an engine swap on this tractor. I discovered that the K241 that I was running in this tractor, it wasn't rebuilt very well. So the story goes that they were supposed to have bored out the cylinder and then sleeved it back to standard size. But it appears that what they did instead was bore it out and then stick standard piston rings in it, but never actually install the sleeve. So the piston's just sitting in there with massive amounts of slop. So, and that explains all the crankcase blow-by I was getting from it too. So I figured it would be best if I just got it rebuilt. So, what we have under here, instead, if I can undo the hood latch, is a 12 horsepower K301. And it's kind of disguised. It's going to look exactly the same as the K241 did. I've even got the K241 tag on it. Or, well, it's the whole fan shroud. It's all of the engine tins from the K241. The only real way to tell that it isn't is the fact that the oil fill isn't over here. Instead, it's down here. And, let's see. There's also the deep sump oil pan. But other than that, you really can't tell much difference. It's everything from the other engine. I didn't have all the parts for this engine. It wasn't a complete engine, so it's got a fuel tank, carburetor, an air filter, coil, starter generator, etc. All from the K241, as well as the muffler. I wasn't going to run it with a stock setup muffler, so I dragged the engine over to my neighbor's house because he's got a torch, and we put some heat to the old 90-degree muffler pipe because it was stuck in the block. And if you're good with tools, you should know that usually heat does a pretty good job at loosening up rusted pipes. So that worked well, and I was able to get the vertical muffler mounted up on it. So I really just finished this yesterday. That was when I got the swap done. It's not perfect yet. Unfortunately, I've got issues with my throttle cable. It slips. It doesn't have the holder under here. It's supposed to hold the throttle cable in place. It isn't holding the throttle cable in place like it should. So that's kind of an issue. But yeah, I have been caring for it, so you don't need to worry about that. It stays under this overhang when I'm storing it. Keep it dry. I've got my two other 1X6, 1X7 series tractors over here. The 147, of course, and then the 106 with a cat on it. Hello, cat. And my project last night, getting this 42-inch deck on the 147. And obviously this tractor would have had an electric lift, so I had to jack up the front end of it so I could get this manual lift in there. But I did, so that's nice. Stole that off one of my parts tractors out there. There's actually two of them. You can only see one, because the other one is basically just a frame. And then of course the 106 just here. I really haven't had any issues with this tractor at this point. It's been pretty reliable. Of course, I unfortunately can't run the 147 at the moment because you can see there's no starter generator on it. And that's because I still need to get the starter generator for it rebuilt. I've mentioned in the past I have 4 tractors and 3 functional starter generators. And one stays on the original because it's a different type. The 106 stays on the 106 because the electrical system in this tractor is immaculate by some chance. I haven't had to charge the battery in this thing at all, even over the winter. I don't know how. So, I just swapped the starter between the 107 and the 147 for the time being. Obviously, 42-inch deck. Had to piece together a mule drive for it. It's not completely done. I need to find the right spring for this. My dad in the background with a tractor. So I need to find the right spring. The one I got on there is too long and not tight enough. I need one like this one right here. The 106. But I suppose I may as well fire up the 107 here. I'm gonna turn the fuel on first. It's gonna want some choke. Seems to be a pretty good runner. Yeah, it seems to be going pretty well. Obviously I can't throttle it up any more than idle because of the throttle cable that isn't, you know, it's not secured properly. It's a little smoky. I think it's because I'm running it kind of rich. I kind of find it hard to believe, but when I originally tore into this engine, it had a blown head gasket, balance gears, and the connecting rod wasn't installed the right way. Oh, and the governor was broken. Just over a week ago, I had this engine apart on the bench. I recorded a bunch of work dismantling the engine and putting it back together, then taking it all apart again to fix the governor, and then back together one more time, and then putting it into the tractor. And I'm hoping I'm gonna put it all into a nice big time-lapse video. It's probably about 5 hours worth of video footage. I'm gonna try to condense down in under 10 minutes for you guys to see. But yeah. And don't worry, the lights still work too. They're not very bright when it's light out, but they work. So yeah, there you go. That's what's up with the 107. I've been tinkering with her in the background. Well, I guess that's about it. If you like these tractors here, if you want to see more about them, consider subscribing so that you don't miss out, because of course I will make many more videos on them. And if you like my 107 in particular, leave a like. I would appreciate that. And until next time, I will see you around. Thank you for watching.